Yep. Thank you. Okay, my name's Jamie Tarn. I am the president of the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. And welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we'll just go through introductions in the beginning. And when you're a speaker, I ask that you turn on your camera, please, so we can see your wonderful, friendly faces instead of just looking at the black screen with your name on it. So I'll go through for those new here. I'll go ahead and call out your name if I can pronounce it correctly, or and then just come on and introduce yourself quick, and then we'll move on to the next person. So I'm going to start with Giselle.
Hi, I'm Giselle Nova. I am the coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Thanks, Greg.
Greg Dinger, Mount Shasta West.
And Siskiyou Media Council, Dave.
Dave McAdams, Executive Director, Siskiyou Media Council, YCTV 4, MCTV 15. So, yep.
Thank you. Chuck.
I'm Chuck Huckabee. I'm the Deputy Coordinator for the Klamath County CERT team.
Thank you. Marushka.
Hi, Marushka, trying to organize a Firewise, make our Hammond community Firewise, and working closely with Kristen Norman. We're very grateful for, and it's still continuing. We're getting closer and closer every day.
Thanks. Teresa.
Yep. Teresa Johnson, Klamath County CERT member.
Thank you. Kristen.
Hi, sorry, I'm in transit. I am Kristen Norman. I am the Administrative Assistant and Outreach and Education Coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Thanks, Kristen. And Ruby.
I'm Ruby. I am Giselle's administrative assistant.
And Ruby, this is Ruby as well, right there.
Oh, hi.
Tuli.
Hey, I'm Julie Potts with the Sierra Nevada Conservancy.
Thank you. And is that Chief Manchego there?
Yep. Good evening, Kevin Mancebo, Assistant Chief Hazard Mitigation, Siskiyou Unit, CAL FIRE.
Thank you. Good to see you back. Mike?
Hey, everybody. Trying to get the video going. Michael Hentz, the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council Fire and Forestry Program Project Coordinator. Always good to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike. Josh?
Hello, everyone. Josh Bean with CORE, working on the Community Wildfire Defense Grant alongside the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Christine?
Christine Holst, Fuels with the Shasta Trinity National Forest out of the McLeod office.
Thanks, Christine. And is that from the Klamath Able?
Yep, Kevin Abel, Public Affairs Officer for the Klamath National Forest.
Kevin, thank you. And we have Tazi. Okay, we'll move on. Owen.
Good evening, Owen Cabo, Siskiyou County Office of Emergency Services, Disaster Services Coordinator.
Thanks, Owen. Gary Pennell.
Here now, Siskiyou.
Oh, thanks for coming.
I'm sorry, you broke up on my end. What? I couldn't hear you.
Lieutenant Gary Pennell, Siskiyou.
Okay, thank you.
Sheriffs, if you didn't hear that, it kind of faded.
It did fade. Thanks. Jay.
Hello, Jamie. Jay Perkins, interested party.
Thank you. Madeline.
Madeline Lavaji, Quartz Valley resident. Also interested party, interested in just gaining knowledge on what we're all doing.
Great. Thanks, Madeline. Hannah.
Hannah Chittenden from the Law Bed Butte Valley Resource Conservation District.
Oh, great, thanks. Andrea?
Hi, Andrea Mayer, from the Timber Hills neighborhood, recently starting a Firewise plan.
Great, welcome. Julie?
Julie Titus, I like Jay's intro. I'll say interested party also, but we are both working on community wildfire protection planning. One countywide update and a new one for weed.
Thanks, Julie. And I'm not sure what this one says, EKAVVADIAS.
Hello, that's me. I'm using my wife's computer, Clayton Cavadius.
Okay, who is it? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Clayton Cavadius.
Okay, thank you. And George?
George Jennings, or Cal RCD Council, Wairika Area Fire Safe Council.
Thanks. And Terry?
Hi there, Terry Arwood, ambulance director for Aetna Ambulance.
Hey, welcome, Terry. And I'll try one more time. TAZI, Tazi? Okay. We will move on then. Thank you, everybody, for the introductions. And we'll just move into our action items and our partner update. So tonight as they did their introductions, we will have the CERT team from Klamath County, and which is Community Emergency Response Team. And I will hand it over to you and take it away, please. Whoever, if it's going to be Chuck or
That'll be me.
Partner. All right.
Oh, and actually, can we have Owen just do a quick update on the status of what he's already got going for the reinstating CERT for Siskiyou County? He's got things in motion, so he can just give us a quick status update on that, and then we can jump in with Chuck and he can tell us how they got theirs reinstated. What was it, 11 years ago? So yeah, Owen, you want to go
ahead,
first?
Owen.
Just tell us what the status is in Siskiyou County, and I don't know how long CERT's been not functioning, but it's great that we're all thinking alike and all want to get it going again.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys having me on. Part of my job responsibilities, Brian wants me to get the CERT team going back in Siskiyou County. We've been working on it for the past couple of years now, getting all the necessary training and everything squared away. I've got Train the Trainer taken care of, and CERT Basic. I had the privilege of actually going up to Ashland and going through their CERT Basic course. And for right now, we're working to get a scheduled CERT class on the books for winter this year, aiming sometime in December, getting those dates finalized. And what we'd like to do moving forward as we go into 2026 is to have those trainings quarterly and offer those to the public. And then, ideally, as the team grows, we'd like to have the team actually participate in providing those trainings, as well as work on, with how spread out Siskiyou County is, being able to kind of sectorize the team and have, like a South County CERT and West County and all that. And then we also want that team to be able to participate in outreach. So the same that the Fire Safe Council's, super involved in community outreach events, and oh yes, we do the best we can. We'd like to get that CERT team out there promoting the team. 3 big goals that I have for the team. I want it to be impactful to Siskiyou County. I want it to be sustainable. We had a CERT team, gosh, a long time ago. It was before Brian was the director. So that would have been. Oh, sorry. I just saw in the chat. So CERT is Community Emergency Response Team. It's volunteers in the community that are trained up on basic disaster response. The intent being for them to be the help until help arrives. They get formal training, and then they're available as a response team. And then you have people in your community that are already trained up that know what to do, which is what we'd really like to see in Siskiyou County. But again, we want that team to be impactful, sustainable, and ultimately a force multiplier within the county. So as part of that, I've been coordinating with a lot of our local agencies. At an ambulance, Terry is phenomenal instructor. We're gonna be bringing her on to help train for as far as like disaster med, disaster psych. And then Brian, my director, is works in Homeland Security in his other role in the Air Force, so we're gonna be pulling him on board, teaching that portion. I'm also working with the Fire Chiefs Association to go over that portion of the course. So really trying to get those subject matter experts, but that has that double effect of having the team be visible to those agencies. So if somebody say, "Hey, I really liked the disaster med portion. I really want to get more involved in EMS." They already know Terry. They already have an in with a local volunteer EMS agency. If someone's like, "Hey, I really enjoy the fire portion," we already have a contact with the Fire Chiefs Association. So if they're like, "Hey, I'm in Dunsmuir," perfect. Let's get you set up with Dunsmuir Fire. That's kind of where I'd like to go with that. We got a grant as part of Listos, California, for just under $21,000. Got that grant in 2024 to get operational equipment and training equipment. We've been procuring that. Let's see what else I have on my notes here. Yeah, and then as far as what this group could do in the time between now and that first class, spread the word. We're wanting to get a list of interested folks. The Get Involved page on readysiskiyou.gov is active. There's information on search and rescue, CERT team, as well as volunteer fire. Go all the way to the bottom of the page. You'll see my email. Just click it and it will open up your email service, and just shoot me an email with your contact information. And then as soon as we have that first training scheduled, we'll get that email sent out to you. Other than that, if you have an agency and you'd like to do outreach, we have postcards with the Ready Siskiyou sign up information so people can get their alerts and warnings, as well as the link for getting folks that are interested in CERT and having that information on there as well. So other than that, end report.
Thank you, Owen. Appreciate that. And yeah, I can't remember how long ago it was either that CERT was here in our county. It's been a long time. So sorry for the delay, Chuck, but I will now pass it on over to you. You're muted.
How's that?
There you
Better?
go.
All right. Sorry
Yeah.
about that, everyone. I want to thank everyone for inviting CERT to your meeting. Sounds like most of you have a reasonable understanding of what we do. So I will not bore you with a whole bunch of stuff, but basically 1985 earthquakes in Mexico City, over 800 people volunteered. Everybody wanted to do their part. Everybody wanted to help out their neighbors, their family, their communities. Unfortunately, they were not properly trained, and as a result, we lost over 100 people. A fire chief, Frank T. Boardman, in 1985 got together with his team and said that we can't stop them from helping, so the next best thing is to train them. And CERT was born. We are an all-volunteer organization. We are BLS trained in medical, triage, basic stuff for, I get a lot of questions. It's kind of hard because you guys know more medical and more of the first responder stuff than the average individual. But one of the questions that's asked to me frequently is, what is CERT and what do we do? So the simple answer to that is that we fill in the gaps. We have medical training. We are trained in things like AEDs and the use of them, CPR. We are cross-trained with Red Cross. We can do search and rescue and clear buildings. We are trained in evacuations, shelter management, safety and security. Some of our team go back from the original days when we were directly under the sheriff's department, and we still hold our status as reserve deputies. So from time to time, we get into traffic management and traffic control. One of the things that we do is that we volunteer for the Klamath County Snowflake Festival every year. And half of our team works on parade lineup. The other half works on traffic management, trying to keep everybody safe and organized. All of our meetings are conducted by my captain, Ron, and or other trained firefighter medical personnel. We work very highly and closely with the county. We support EMS at the moment, and we are currently working under emergency management for Klamath County. Hopefully fire season is over. So, I mean, at this point, we're going to begin our training sessions starting in the next couple of weeks. We actually have a meeting tomorrow night, and I am not privy at the moment as to what the agenda is, but it will be the first meeting since fire season is finally coming to an end for us. So, I mean, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But anybody have any questions? Sometimes it's easier for me to just answer your questions and fill in the blanks than to try and give this big long speech. So I'm going to open up to some questions, and hopefully I'll have the answers that you need.
Well, I'll start. Chuck, how many people do you have that are CERT qualified there in Klamath County?
We have about 50 that are actually registered as members, and actively we have about maybe 18 people that are currently active. I've been with the team now for 5 years. Again, I'm the deputy coordinator, or in simplistic terms, the XO. So I kind of fill in when Ron is not available or when we're out in the field. I control the teams. I like to think of my captain as our political officer. He knows everybody who's anybody. So when it comes time for the high-end stuff, I usually step aside, let him handle that, and I'm boots on the ground. One of our divisions that we operate is the animal rescue side, and that is sponsored to us through the AKC. And we house and feed and take care of any animals that come out of fires. We have many assets that we use with them. We have an AKC animal trailer, which was donated to us. And inside that, we have everything that is needed to take care of any misplaced animals until we can reunite them with their owners.
So who initiates your response? Is it the sheriff's office, or is it OES for your county? Or
varies.
Yeah,
It
okay.
varies. Technically, we are working directly for the county, which has then assigned us to emergency management. So the county can call us out. We have MOUs with fire departments, with the sheriff's department, local police department. So we are capable of working for whoever needs us, which is why I often just tell people we fill the gaps. If you need us to stand on a corner and be a flagger, we have training in that. Again, we can do law enforcement, we can do medical, we can do triage, we can do search and rescue. So we're always expanding our training curriculum, and we're always looking for guest speakers. Our most recent acquisition for our team is called Firefighter Rehab. Who knows what firefighter rehab is? Anybody?
No, I don't.
Okay, firefighter rehab in its nutshell is basically firefighters will come out of a fire. They will be extremely exhausted, dehydrated, possibly even mild injuries. We take them, we do all the medical, we check their breathing, we give them temperature readings, we hydrate them, we provide them with an area to sit down and rest, and then we will certify them to go back in or not. We actually have the authority, when that is our duty, to prevent them from going back into a fire if we deem that they are not fit or ready to go back on and do it again. Some of them are just gluttons, and they will go until they drop. And so it's our duty to make sure that they don't drop.
Very good service.
Yep. Again, we fill in the blanks. We have so much that we can offer. I mean, disaster psychology, so that when we're all done, we got people that we can sit down. We can put you in touch with counselors, grief counselors, DHS to help you get your ranch back or your livestock fed, or just whatever you need. We have resources in just about every possible area that you can imagine.
Excellent.
Any questions?
Yeah, I'm looking to make sure.
Okay.
I do have a question, Chuck.
Go ahead.
If this were to gain traction here in Siskiyou County and folks are interested, like what are you guys looking for? I know it's volunteers, but what could folks be expected and what are you expecting of applicants?
We have something insert for everybody, regardless of your age, your weight, your health. I mean, I've got a team member who is on oxygen, who literally cannot walk 10 feet, but she does administrative work for us when we need her. So there is a place for everybody. Teresa Johnson, one of my team members, who's also on this meeting, her son is our webmaster. So, I mean, no matter what your age, no matter what your skill level, if we need to, we will train you. But we love to have people come and join the team that can bring something to the party. So whether you're law enforcement, medical, or any of the above, or just looking to do something for your community, we've got a place for you. We've never turned anyone away. And so far, we found something for everyone that wants to be part of the team. We can put you somewhere. And hopefully your team will be the same way, that you will have enough going on and enough involvement in your community that you will be happy to have anyone and everyone who's willing to give their time. As a volunteer, it's basically whatever you can give, whenever you can give. We like to have you full time, but you know, we'll take whatever. So
thank you for sharing, Chuck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Chuck, a friend of mine went through CERT training up in the Salem, Oregon area.
Right.
And one of the things that she got out of it, that her workshops that she attended, was how to put a go bag together, what they need to do for that. Do you guys do that too?
Absolutely. We love teaching you how to be prepared, and the better prepared you are, the better you can to serve your community. And we always teach everyone that it's family first, neighborhood second, overall community third. So you start with your immediate family. Take care of them. When they're safe and secure, then you move on to your next door neighbor. And one of the advantages, I'm sorry, I'm getting a whole lot of somethings here. One of the advantages is that because we are a neighborhood community organization, if you was to knock on somebody's door and tell them you've got 30 minutes to evacuate, the fire's coming over the hill, they don't know you from Jack. Forgive me, I have no idea what this is, but somebody's pestering me. So anyhow, one of the things is that if you was to knock on somebody's door and more or less order them to evacuate, for example, they don't know you. They don't know if you're pulling their leg, if it's really that serious. They have no idea, and they can literally slam the door in your face and just say, hey, I don't want to be involved in it. But if they're your neighbors, if they're your friends, and you go and knock on their door and you say, hey, Joe, you know, I'm part of this team, and you kind of have an idea of what I do and who I am. And I'm telling you that you really need to get your bags loaded up, and you need to get your documents, and you need to be ready to go because the fire is just over the ridge here and it's likely going to come down the side. They are more likely to listen to you, to trust you, to respect you, and welcome you. And whatever instructions you may have, they are more likely to follow them than to slam a door in your face and say, I'm not leaving my house, or I'm not leaving my livestock. And many of them do. Unfortunately, I do not know what California law is, but I know in Oregon, we cannot force them to leave their home. The only power that we actually have during evacuations is that they cannot basically, in a nutshell, kill their children. We have the right and the authority to remove the children, but we cannot actually evacuate them if they don't want to leave. So hopefully by being friends and neighbors and community volunteers with them, we don't ever run into that situation. Take a break and ask any questions.
Well, what you were just saying really resonates, because what I've already been thinking how perfectly this aligns with what we're already doing, getting Firewise communities going. So they just really seem like they'll go hand in hand really well with us. You know, we're really activating a lot of groups all over the county, and
yes,
you know, putting this integrating this is really seamless. And you know, you think that within each Firewise community there'll be at least a couple folks who would like to, you know, take take their service to the county and their community another level up with CERT. So yeah, no, we're excited to work with Owen and get the word out and get people
Well,
signed up.
we did this for Lapine, and we got them started. This has been about 1.5 years now since they formed their CERT team. And we went up, we gave them all of their training and got them through their CERT basic, took 3 weekends, but every one of them is now a CERT member. We have the Lapine CERT team. And from time to time, we can call on them should we need extra volunteers, and they will come down, and vice versa. If they get into a situation up north, we are available to go up there. We have 2 patrol cars in our assets. We have a command trailer that we affectionately call the toy hauler because it hauls around all of our toys. And we have an ambulance, which I am responsible for. So when the call comes out, usually it comes from EM or sometimes from the higher ups. And they basically tell me to get the ambulance fired up and await orders. And they will tell me when to roll and where to roll to. And that is the beginning of whatever is going on. It could be an evacuation. It could be a shelter management. Some of the things that we have done as CERT volunteers is to work with the senior centers with Meals on Wheels. Every year for the last 4 years, I have been instrumental in passing out food boxes to the elderly. We do lunches and stuff for the seniors and help to serve. Sometimes during Christmas and holidays, we will actually go to places like the VFW and volunteer with them. Since we're a private organization, we are not tied to any one group or one deal. We go where we want and we serve in the way that we want to serve.
Great. Thank you very much, Chuck. Is there any other questions for Chuck? For those of you going into the chat, if you want to know more what's happening with CERT in Siskiyou County, Owen with Siskiyou County OES, he's put his email in from his contact up there. So contact him. He did give a brief what was happening here in Siskiyou County for those of you who may have arrived late. So he has put his contact information up there. Do we have any other comments, questions for Chuck?
Just thank you so much. It's really awesome to hear from you, Chuck, and have our neighbors across the line to partner with. And yeah, we've found that it's really beneficial to have those cross-boundary partnerships with like the Fire Safe Council in Shasta County, and looking forward to the same with you.
I'm honored to be here, and we are looking forward to working with you and assisting you. And with your permission, I would like to give my teammate Teresa a chance to jump in.
Absolutely.
She's one of my newest members, and so I would like to kind of have her explain to you from her perspective and see what she says. So you got it.
Hi, everyone. So my name's Teresa. I've been with CERT for about a year now. Just to reiterate kind of what Chuck has said, CERT works with our neighbors, works with our families, works with organizations. We are there to try to give as much emergency preparedness to everybody that wants it, so that way they can keep themselves safe and keep their neighbors safe. So you start one step at a time, and you help out the next person, and then that person can help out more, which causes chain reactions. To kind of also clarify also a couple things, like Chuck said, our ambulance, that's like our command center. We call it the Beast. We use it for when we go to shelters and stuff. It has everything that we need in it. It is a instrumental piece of equipment, I would say. And Chuck has done a great job taking care of that, by the way. Shelters are, one of the big things that we do. And I we work with American Red Cross, which, like he said, I am cross-trained. Almost all of us are cross-trained. So I also do the shelters on the Red Cross side and on the CERT side. It's a great partnership to have. And I would suggest that while moving on, you look into those type of partnerships, because it will make everybody's job a lot easier when you can work as a team with everybody. I'm not sure what else to say. Hopefully
Good job,
that.
Teresa.
Well, thank you, Teresa. And thank you for doing the work with CERT. I know it's a great organization.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. My husband does it, and so does our teenage son. So he's part of our teen CERT. And he, like Chuck said, he is our webmaster. He's 15 and he is helping right now. He's helping Ron and Chuck get together our website.
That's so cool. That's awesome. A family affair.
Yes.
We are definitely one big family.
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming all the way from Klamath County to Siskiyou County. We appreciate it.
Oh, I actually do have one more question. I've heard other counties have like you talked about your animal, how you guys work with the animal shelter and that component. But I've heard other counties have like animal specific certs, like kind of a subgroup that only do animal stuff. I don't remember what county it was that I heard did this, but it sounds like generally CERT that falls under the general CERT umbrella, animal response as well.
May I jump in here? Okay, yes, you are not wrong. There are other CERT organizations that deal with nothing but the animals, and that's fine. We do both, and our animal side is part of our CERT team, but it is a separate entity. And the reason being is because it takes an entire team just to run the animal side. So I handle the boots on the ground side and the teams, and we are currently looking for, if anyone's interested, we are currently looking for someone to handle our animal side because my animal wrangler, as I like to call her, just retired on me. So at this point, we are kind of shy a team leader for our animal side, but we haven't had too many animals this year, and that's been a blessing for us. So it's not been an issue.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I definitely am interested in the animal. I mean, I'm interested in both personally as a 2-time fire survivor. But I am a rancher, grew up on a ranch and have my own livestock. So I wanted to be a veterinarian. So I'm definitely interested in helping with the animals too. So Owen says that they have animal care volunteers through the ag commissioner and animal control.
Yes. We work with a vet. We have a local vet that takes good care of us and volunteers her time. Everyone on the team and all of our assets are all volunteers as well. So we have 4-H personnel that come in and help when we have an excessive amount of livestock or care. And we have, again, I had an animal wrangler, but she just got to the point where it was too much for her. So I am currently looking for a replacement. But we rescued a lot of animals in the last 5 years. I would venture to say, without an accurate count, probably several hundred at least are alive and rehomed thanks to CERT.
Great.
I do, this is Teresa, if I can step in. I do know at our last shelter, if I'm correct, and Chuck can correct me if I'm wrong, but we had we had a little bit over 20 dogs and like 3 or 4 cats at the last shelter that we were helping manage. Chuck, correct?
That sounds about right. Again, without my paperwork, I can't confirm that, but you're very, very close. And they are back with their families after, let's see, how long were we up there? About 15 days total. So.
All right. Do I have any other questions or comments for Chuck and Teresa? Or Owen? All right, thank you, all three of you, for your input tonight. We do appreciate it. It's great information.
Well, thank you for having us. And for those of you that would like my number, it is 541-880-3692. And you can call me anytime with questions, or if you're ready to set up a team and you would like for me to get the ball rolling, give me a call and we'll start making things happen for you. This is the best time to start your team because, again, we're coming out of fire season and we'll have a nice lull. So that's when we do most of our training and preparation.
Can someone put that in the chat, please? Thank you. Can you repeat?
I'm working on it right now for Chuck.
Okay.
Not a problem.
All right.
I know how to push a button on this thing and that's about it.
Okay. Thanks. All right. We'll move on in our agenda. Thanks again, you guys.
Thank you for having us. So good night to everyone and feel free to call me with any questions.
Thank you, Chuck.
Okay, take care now.
3692.
All right, on with our agenda, the Community Wildfire Defense Grant. I'm just going to give a really brief overview. The Community Wildfire Defense Grant, you hear us call it CWDG, is a grant that we got a year and a half ago through the infrastructure bill. And it was a large grant, and with the mission to assess and do fuel reduction work on over 500 homes in Siskiyou County. And the assessments are free, and the work done is free as well to homeowners within the county. And we developed we have a large county, obviously, and we developed a matrix on prioritizing which communities we would hit first, because we felt the most efficient way to do it is to hit groups as opposed to one house in Doris and then one house in Syad and then one house in Dunsmuir. So we're doing it by communities and groups, and we're already into our fourth community. And I will put Josh on the spot here to give you the exact specifics, but I just want to say thanks to our core partners that Josh is part of. We are going gung-ho this year. It took a lot to get this going. There was a lot of work in the background to get it up and running, but it is up and running now. And thank you, Josh, for that. And so I'll let you report on the numbers to let everybody know all the good news.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, as Jamie mentioned, this project focuses on a couple different things: education and outreach, home assessments, these free home assessments, and their recommendations that were given to folks, and then also implementation. So I'd like to touch on those three. For outreach, we were recently at the Tule Lake Fair. So big shout out to Kristen Norman. Really good outreach and education throughout the fair there. And we will be at the Montague Hot Air Balloon Festival next on September 20th. So if there are any partners that are listening in who are looking to table at the Hot Air Balloon Festival, give us a call or shoot us a message, and maybe we could get something cooking. For home assessments, this year's been really good. We've completed about 120 so far to date for this year, 2025. And right now we've been really active in the Tennant and Bray area and giving out these free home assessments and recommendations. We focus on the home hardening. So from the windows to what the siding is made out of to the roof material, and gives great recommendations on those, to your defensible space. So looking at that zone 0 all the way out 100 feet and giving recommendations, whether it's ladder fuels, where the wood pile should be located, things like that. So that's where we're at in Tennant and Bray, and identifying where we could do work and get implementation done. So that's the third thing that we focused on, is the defensible space implementation. Cecilville, we've been very active in. We have 25 homes getting defensible space there, and there's about 4 more to go. So should be closing out there shortly. In Hamburg and Scott Bar, we have about 28 between the two communities there in Hamburg and Scott Bar, and we've completed 13. So kind of in the middle, and yeah, we've gained a lot more signups since the saws and the chipper have been running and folks are able to see the work getting done. Out in Forks of Salmon, we have about 17 total, and we're sitting in the middle with completion on there with some roadside fuels as well. We are focusing in on Dunsmuir. So we finished assessments in Dunsmuir. We had a great workshop. So I do want to thank Shasta RCD. I want to thank Owen from OES, Stephen Decatur from the city, the community of Dunsmuir, because we had a great workshop up there. And we're finalizing RFP and we're going to fly 25 homes. So flying those shortly, and they'll be in the implementation phase. The last little notes that I have on here is actually to Owen. Love the CERT promotion that you're doing and getting that up and running in Siskiyou. If you have anything that you want us to push out, whether digital on our Facebook or out at events, please let me know. We would love to help you out. That's the end of the report. Thank you for listening. Yeah.
And I'd just like to add to reiterate that the homeowner is in charge of what happens on their property. We don't come in, there's no fines, there's nothing where we say you have to take out this tree or this vegetation. We give recommendations and it's up to the homeowner to accept them or not. And so there's a lot of control with our contractors. They have the information, we give them but we work directly with the homeowner to make sure that they're getting what they want and are happy with the result. And also the information is private. It stays with the homeowner and with the Fire Safe Council. It goes to no one else. It doesn't go to the state. It doesn't go to the feds. It doesn't go to the forests or anyone else. That's very private information. So I just want to keep that news clear to make sure that everybody understands that.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
I do have one more. There's always one more thing. We are looking to bring on some folks onto the team. We're looking for a program coordinator to help. And then we also have some AmeriCorps opportunities flying in the county. So I will put those in the chat along with the link if you're looking for that free home assessment.
Thanks, Josh. All right, we'll move on to the Forest Service updates. We'll start with the Shasta Trinity. Christine, are you ready?
Yep, just turning my camera on. Yeah, as most of you guys, at least in the South Siskiyou County, we had the root fire start on Labor Day. But with a really good multi-agency effort, the fire is fully contained. It's actually starting to move into the repair phase. Final acreage count was 719 acres. So yeah, huge multi-agency effort. Yeah, quick action. There was a pretty scary column for a few hours on Monday, but great work by everyone out there, and it's pretty much wrapped up. Still a lot of resources out there, buttoning up all of the ends. There's a Type 3 team on it now, but it should go back to the district by the beginning of next week. Additionally, the South Fork roadside chipping project wrapped up. So if you guys drive that road, you'll see the hand piles. And then we're gearing up for our fall RX season, hopefully October, November, weather permitting, and we have 5,000 acres planned for underburning across the Shasta McCloud Management Unit. End of report.
Christine, can I ask a off the subject question? Sure. But just driving out to McCloud today, was there a large spray project along the outer sides of the road?
Spray, as in herbicides?
Yeah.
No, we don't have any kind of NEPA for herbicides. Which were you on, the Squaw Valley Road?
I was on the main road. Was that 89 going out towards McCloud? And it was green along the road, but back 20 feet off the road, it's brown. So I was just curious.
So
That's
part
just
of
my
that,
curiosity.
yeah, absolutely. Part of that is power line jurisdiction.
Ah,
And so I have seen them out there with
okay.
sprayers. So I can't speak to what environmental things they're allowed to do, but I know for us we're no on herbicides. But we have that area of Snowman's Hill. We are planning to treat with prescribed fire,
Mhm.
hopefully in the next month or so. So
Okay, thank you. It was just a
course.
curious looking thing to have it green next to the road and brown past the road.
Absolutely. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. All right. The Klamath National Forest. Where'd you go? There you are.
I'm still here. So good evening on the Klamath National Forest. I'm filling in for Jen. My normal position is the public affairs officer. So since August 1st, we've had 68 lightning fires that were started. Currently have 2 fires burning that are uncontained. And this is, you got to look at that 68 fires. This is because of all the great work of the firefighters we have out there. We have a great response from local departments, CAL FIRE, tribal resources, and also federal firefighters. Yet we only have 2 firefighters that made it into the category of uncontained right now. So we've got the Blue Fire at 3,609 acres, 33% contained, and 741 personnel assigned. Though that did receive a good share of moisture, we're going to see that one still have a possibility coming back to life if this weather heats up and dries out like they're calling for. So we'll keep that number of personnel fairly high for a few days and see where it goes. The other is the log fire. It's down in the wilderness. It's 1,169 acres, 0% containment right now, and 44 personnel. So there's a couple crews working that, wrapping some of the structures that are out there and keeping an eye on it, clearing the trail. So if we do put folks in, they're going to be able to get back out of there. So the National Forest the Klamath is still under fire restrictions despite the rain we received, and it'll remain that way for a little while. And then on some unrelated fire news, RAC, the Resource Advisory Councils, I know a few people have been asking Jen on this. So the information on it right now is that the reauthorization has passed the House, but it's held up in the Senate. Now, I don't know when they're supposed to get to doing that reauthorization. Normally it's done with the Farm Bill. However, the Farm Bill is separate this time. So we won't see those come together. We have to have this reauthorization by December 31st. Otherwise, we completely lose the Resource Advisory Council authorization. All the applications from the great people of the county that have said that they would help us with this are currently held at the Department of Agriculture until the SRS reauthorization happens. So right now we can't even push those outside the Department of Agriculture for approvals. So until we get more news on that, that's where we are. Pending any questions, that's all the information I have to share tonight.
I have a question. Sorry. Hold
Go
on
ahead,
one
George.
second. I just have a question about, are you accepting applications? Because I had folks that were waiting anxiously to hear about that.
Yeah, as of right now, we're not, because they're not going to go anywhere. And we suspect once the reauthorization happens, they will change the form like they typically do, and we'd have to do it all over again.
Okay.
As soon as we get notification that we can, I will be doing a big push for new members because we don't have a quorum right now with the couple members that we have left. So we are absolutely going to need to reach out and get the help to get this rack going again. And so we're asking for all the help we can get as soon as it gets signed off.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, this is Mike Hens over at Happy Camp. Can you make sure you put your contact information in the chat as the Klamath PIO? Because it'd be great to be in touch with you. I'm not sure if we met.
Yeah, I can absolutely put it out there. I'm happy to talk to anybody anytime they need info about the forest.
Okay, thank you. Cal Fire, are you ready?
I'm always ready. Good evening, everybody. I think next year we're gonna have to try and figure out a matrix so we can figure out a whack-a-mole game as to where Kevin will be for every one of these meetings. So, good evening from Fresno County. Kalinga smells delightful this time of year. I'm on assignment down here, but joining you all. Let's see. So quick operational update, staffing. We're still at peak staffing. Everybody's there. We'd anticipate that well into the winter. Recap since we last met. Did something that I'm not sure has been done before. I pushed my folks and we ran 2 control burns, 2 prescribed fires in the Wairika and Grenada area a few weeks ago successfully, the Newton and the White Rock. Great outpouring of cooperators and other agencies. You know, the Klamath National Forest, they provided a bulldozer for us. We had Wairika City Fire, South Wairika Fire, Grenada Gazelle, and even the folks from the county office of or OES came out, and I think everybody had a great day. There was some really good media coverage, and not only was the point of that to be at fuels treatment and making our communities safer, I really saw an opportunity that we had clean air in the county this year, and took the advantage and the opportunity to show the community that there is such a thing as good fire and good smoke. That said, we did take a little bit of a beating. Actually, we had some pretty significant amounts of concerns from some political seats over the border in the state of Oregon, but we've tried to bring them up to speed on the benefits of what we were doing. We also had a representative from ODF that came down from to the birds as well. So if there's any other feedback or questions on that, I'd love to help educate folks in the why and the how, because it probably is pretty shocking to be intentionally lighting fires in August in Siskiyou County. Moving forward, working on some new projects with the PBA over in the Scott Valley. Looking to help them out with some landscape fire over there. Trex did complete some more burns downriver that were in the footprint of the Butler, so they were able to pull off some control burns down there as well. Moving forward in fuels and prescribed fire, I tried to burn out in Red Rock last week, but Mother Nature had a different idea. So that's right now, tip of the spear, Red Rock, about 700 acres we're looking to do out there. Also on our plate, we have the Department of Fish and Wildlife, the Big Springs Ranch. We're looking at about 500 acres that we have turnkey, ready to go. We'll just be waiting for resources and weather. Greenhorn, we still have a few units there that we're looking to get done this fall. And Cheryl out at the Bogus Creek Ranch, we were able to get out there this month, and we'll be looking at about a 2,000 acre project potentially this fall as well. So it takes a village to do what we're doing. So a lot of cross boundary, all the things, just like the Fire Safe Council, this fuels treatment and everything that we have under my umbrella. Very busy, but very dynamic. Our cooperation with the SHF, Shasta Trinity National Forest, and Klamath National Forest has been epic this year. As it was stated, last week there was a pretty ominous column coming over the top of the crags, and because of that teamwork in there, we were able to park that thing and preserve that Castle Creek drainage. So, lots of successes, lots of new things. Looking forward to keep moving forward on new and exciting projects, and I'm open to any questions if there may be any.
I don't see any hands up.
I have one. I am wondering if you might not have this all quantified yet, but curious to know what the uptick in prescribed burning is from last year to this year, because it sure seems like there's been a lot more, which is awesome.
Well, I can speak specifically to the Siskiyou unit, Cal Fire. It's this guy. That's what they hired me to do. Basically, if you take CAL FIRE and our tasking as what we're, emergency response is our primary response, and based on direction from the director of the department and the governor of the state of California, our number 2 priority is now fuels treatment, prescribed fire, and essentially, it's a reintroduction to fire to the landscape. We could go into lots of words about it, but essentially, to a degree, we've become our own worst enemy in putting out the fires. Naturally, fire on the landscape has occurred for thousands of years, if not more. You can quantify that as you want. So this is us trying to get back into the scope of what previous generations and ranchers would do, even Native Americans would do with fire on the landscape. So although we've gotten bigger and better toys to stop the fires, a broad scale treatment, the best or the easiest way to do that fuels treatment and reduce these catastrophic fires is prescribed fire. It's scary, it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of trust and selling it to the community. So that's my job, is to be aggressive in that, to try and treat the landscape, but then also in the same time is educate so that we can get the support from the community in that.
I have a question.
Oh, I was actually asking the CAL FIRE's prescribed fires. How many more acres, or how many more, units or whatever, that CAL FIRE has done specifically last year to this year, the difference that what you guys have done.
The increase, I think, in Siskiyou County, I think last year we had about 1,800 acres of prescribed fire last year, and this year I'm shooting to be somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000. We'd had a challenge from the director to try and have 10,000 acres in each one of our administrative units, and that's a tough one to get to, but we're shooting towards that. Is that what you're looking for, Kristen?
Yeah, it just seems just anecdotally that you guys are just really hammering it and doing way more prescribed burning. Just even the last 4 years, it's just like a huge difference in the short term that I've been, in this world. So it's exciting to see.
It's a modality of fuels treatment that's been lost over the last few generations. When I started 30 years ago, we were still doing prescribed fire, and then liability, risk, fear, and just the lack of the skill set. And now, even people like Michael could say downriver, we're all trying to get back into that skill set and that comfortability and play catch up over the last 100 years.
I have one more question, if I could. This is George Jennings.
Go ahead, George.
One is, are you guys looking for any opportunities, or are you already doing any work with on public lands with the Forest Service?
Public, expand a little bit more what you mean by public lands.
Land that isn't private land.
So for right now, what us, CAL FIRE, we would be engaged with public lands such as Caltrans, Department of Fish and Wildlife, and some other local public lands, like City of Dunsmuir, we're working on some stuff there too.
Yeah.
As far as federal lands, that's going to be something for the federal cooperators to answer that question, but maybe that's the lane that you're looking at.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, is federal lands that are, I know that they do this a lot in Oregon with the state. The state comes in and assists the federal in getting some burning done on federal lands, you want to call
I can't speak specifically to the projects on the federal land. I can say that there's a forest-wide agreement between the Klamath National Forest and Siskiyou or CAL FIRE, and we're in the process of doing that one with the Shasta Trinity unit. So we do cross-boundary informally. We assist each other, but each agency has to be the lead, basically, essentially, for their land.
Okay, and then one more question. Are you guys revisiting areas like Golden Gate Flats that have CEQA ready for prescribed burning and from you guys? And then are they, because of the change in easement and ownership or easement, are the new easement holders, have you approached them about getting Golden Gate Flats implemented?
I have a burn plan in a file ready to go for Golden Gate. We're just waiting for confirmation that that easement has changed and transitioned because we already moved forward with the Waika project with the new land manager, and have a good relationship there. So I'm just waiting to hear that they're looking to move forward, and we could pull the trigger on that quite quickly.
Great, thanks. Great to hear that. Thank you.
Madeline, you had a question?
Yeah, I had a question also for Mencibo. So I'm in Quartz Valley, and a whole mess of land, homeowners adjacent to private timberland that's changed hands over the years. And you know, there's a fuels problem out there. And I was wondering if CAL FIRE has the ability to collaborate with the current timber owners and do something that maybe put in a buffer between the house properties and more of their land that has old logging slash, which can pose a big problem in a big fire event.
The short answer is yes, we can collaborate on projects like that. I can speak specifically to Aetna, and like there's an Aetna fuel break that we're working some improvements. I know that currently in the Quartz Valley, they're working on rewriting the CWPP over there, which does encompass the private lands adjacent to the timber companies, and part of that will be identified as to the needs assessment. What I can say, and I'm not always the most politically correct, we have to remember that the timber company is a private landowner just like we are, that owns our quarter acre with our house on it. It is their responsibility to manage their lands. We can encourage, we can show, we can tell, but the mandate becomes questionable where that is. So when you have a multi-million-dollar company and landowner, we have to pressure and encourage them to manage their lands appropriately to protect your property as well. So it's a very fine line to dance. Again, we can work with these companies. The timber companies are well aware of what needs to be done, but as we all know, to do these things, it takes money and labor, and those are typically the challenges. So I am doing my best political dance right now in front of you. These are the challenges that we all face. So yes, we can work with them, but how to get through that entire process is the challenge.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, you're in great company because I'm horrible at being politically correct. So.
I'm a direct communicator to a fault. I do not have a filter, but I'm doing my best.
Yeah, I had a lot of supervisors tell me I had to learn to be better at that. I guess I never learned.
I never told you that, Jamie.
Yes, you did. All right, sorry about that. Let's move on then. Shasta Valley RCD. I'm just going to go through it quick. If I miss you, sorry, just stop me. You see a co-op extension or Cal RCD. George, do you have anything? Update? Is it George?
Sorry, a quick on the draw today. So not really an update. We're moving closer with the Alston Road project, southwest corner of Wairika and into the county a little bit there around Highway 3 across from Walmart in Wairika up on the hillside there. We're getting pretty close to announcing the bid package, and it'll be around 25 homes for defensible space and about 265 acres of ridge top or areas, mostly ridges, and part of that is we're going to expand the work that was done with the contingency lines on the ridges for the McKinney fire. So we'll be expanding those ridges, and then also working on some inside ridges, I guess, more ridges down into the community, and then along with the 25 homes. So we're looking forward to get that getting that rolling, and yeah, working on some other, I think everybody in the room probably had a CAL FIRE application, and it sounds like we had quite a few folks. So we're looking forward to see if ours was one of those that's going to be picked. So there's some future work coming too. One of the things that I run into a lot, and I don't know if anybody has an answer to that yet, but in the middle, inside the cities, there's trees are dying inside the cities, and some of them are pretty large, and it's very expensive, especially for people with limited incomes. I'm just wondering, that may be something that we start to look at, maybe with the cities themselves, but getting some of the big trees down that are dying within the city limits is it's kind of a new thing with the droughts and things like that. So just putting that out there as a thought is how we manage that, because it's very expensive to bring those trees down, and some folks just can't afford to do it. I get several calls about that too.
Yeah, George,
George,
we're experiencing the same thing with the CWDG grant. We're limited to what we can take out, and some homeowners would like us to take out some of the big trees, and we're just not able to do that under the way our contract is. But so we hear you.
It's been on our radar. We've applied several times to CAL FIRE and the Forest Service for large tree removal throughout the county, and we've never been successful in getting any of those funded. But we are very well aware and of the need.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I froze for a minute. George, were you done then?
Yeah, that was just an update on Allison Road fuel break, and then just talking about some calls I'm getting within the communities within the city. It's probably it's not state responsibility area, so it's kind of an interesting place to be. One thing I do have to say is I'm very excited about what the cities are doing with their resiliency grants, and seeing a lot of progress. It took a long time, but it feels like it, but I really see the cities engaged in doing the work inside the cities, and we're really looking forward to seeing the county engaging more on the edges of the cities, and getting a program going, full time with the county. So just throwing that out there and being politically incorrect.
Okay, thanks, George. Siskiyou Prescribed Burn Association, no one's here. Scott River Watershed Council, Mount Shasta Bioregional Ecology Center, and Sierra Nevada Conservancy. Tully's here.
Thanks, Jamie. Just a quick update. We're currently accepting proposals for our Wildfire and Forest Resilience Grant Program. That's been open for, say, 2 months now, a month and a half. We've received 30 million in requests so far. That really does have a community protection emphasis to it. So we will spin that down. We're currently doing evaluations on the first round of proposals that were received. So we did not receive any proposals from Siskiyou County yet, but from neighboring counties. We are watching the state legislature to see what they're going to do with kind of rolling out the Proposition $4. We have a number of additional dollars in there for our wildfire and forest resilience grant programs that are earmarked in there for the Sierra Nevada Conservancy to roll out in future years, but timing's unknown still, so we'll keep you guys posted on that. And then just finally, thank you to CAL FIRE and our Forest Service partners. Great job with kind of shifting the paradigm and getting good fire on the ground whenever you can and where you can as resources and conditions allow. So kudos to everybody doing great work out there. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Siskiyou County OES, was there anything else, Owen, that you have for an update?
Hey, yeah. No, I mean, pretty much just wanted to hit on the CERT stuff. We're continuing to monitor our current evacuations, evaluating those every day and working with the teams to see what we can lift. thankfully we've had some really favorable weather, so we've been able to downgrade a lot of that. If you guys want to see the latest evacuation orders or warnings or the most recent Ready Siskiyou alert, we've actually got a, I guess, banner on readysiskiyou.gov, which keeps that updated. It pulls straight from Genesis and it pulls straight from our alert platform. So, yep. Other than that, it's in a report.
Thank you. Nancy's not on. Pacific Power. Not on, but I can tell you Pacific Power has decided to replace every wooden power pole in Scott Valley with metal ones. And they've started that, and that's going to be fascinating. I mean, it's a lot of work, and I can't imagine how expensive it is, but that's what they're moving to.
Just a little comment on that. They did that here in Mount Shasta, right on our streets, and we had Jill Drinkwater come to our last meeting to talk about that. We have specifically requested that they put them underground. They're not attractive, and I don't think they're efficient, but the argument is undergrounding is so much more expensive, and the counter was, yeah, but you don't have to maintain the trees and other infrastructure around them if you put them underground. But they are in some new construction will all be underground, and there's some areas they are going underground, but just not much in Siskiyou County.
Yeah, I can't imagine the expense that this is to remove every wooden pole and put it with metal and transport them up here is a cheap process, but I'm not their finance officer either.
That's
So
right. Well, they've, according to them, they've crunched their numbers, and this is the best they can do.
okay. NRCS, Siskiyou County Air Quality, and the sheriff's office. We did have someone from the sheriff's office, and we've lost a couple people. Are they still with us?
Maybe he moved on.
Yeah, okay, that's unfortunate. CHP, Siskiyou County
Oh, wait,
Natural.
he's
Oh,
on. Gary
where is he?
Pandell. Gary,
Yeah.
are you still out
Oh,
there?
there he is.
I am. I'm just trying to get to a better spot for a better signal.
Okay.
You were sounding good, Gary. Was strong.
Okay, we can try it. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I just letting you know I don't have any comments for tonight, so.
All right. All right, so we'll move on to Siskiyou County Natural Resources. And before we move to the Fire Safe Councils, Julie, are you still here? Julie J. An update on the CWPP.
Yeah,
Ju-
go
go,
here.
go for it, Julie.
Got an apron
Yeah,
on, girl.
we are bringing in one of the new things. We are working on a lot of things and looking at new tools and things, but we also are going to, for the greater weed area, we are going to include the Lake Shastina community. It just makes sense if you think about the fires that we've had coming off the north side of the mountain. It almost always goes into evacuations and warnings and things for both Shastina and Weed area. So theirs is an update, so it makes sense in that we will include them. So that's that aspect that's new. The other thing is, and Jay is working on the wildfire analysis aspect, and we're looking at the potential of utilizing an upgraded wildfire analysis tool called Vibrant Planet that many of you have listened to some of their, if you are on the meeting that they did the presentation. So we're looking at a lot of angles at it. And Jay, you want to add to that? That's pretty much what I got for it.
I think that's all, I think that's good. We're working on right now too is getting the draft planning boundaries and then the 3 communities, if you will, within the greater weed planning boundary. And so we're just kind of at the beginning, and we'll just continue to do monthly updates with you, Jamie.
Hey, Jay, I've got a question, George Jennings. You guys are the greater weed area. Are you guys covering Carrick Edition also?
I'll have to get back to you on that. We've talked about Carrick. I don't remember likely, but
I think
have
it
to.
was in the boundary. We're trying to work within the zip code, and I'm trying to remember if Carrick what is outside the zip code. I don't have the map with me. Jay has the map. He's probably running to get it.
It's right up against Weed, and it's at the beginning of Highway 97 as it leaves
Oh
Weed.
yeah. That's in it. Yes.
Okay,
Sure
great.
of that.
Thank you.
Sure of that. Yeah. Yeah. We also have Hammond Ranch included, which is interesting. So because that is that's different fire behavior over there, but there was enough feedback coming in, and it is the greater Weed area. So yes, that's the other WUI area or community.
We're operating within the Weed zip code, is that correct?
That's correct.
For the most part, yes.
For the most part.
Are you guys talking about Firewise or something different? Sorry.
Pardon me?
Are
Oh,
you
it's
guys
a CW, it's a
Firewise or
CWP.
something?
No, what this is a community wildfire protection plan.
Okay.
It's different than completely different than a Firewise community. I know it's a really confusing because there's a lot of different
Right here,
actions and
we
activities.
is-
This is like a large plan which has guidance, and it's based off of a wildfire analysis, and it's
Okay.
guidance of the actions that should be taken. And the analysis is fire modeling and fire hazard risk related.
Okay.
And yeah, and I won't go into the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
good
we
thing
can
to look
search-
at when we make our when we make our 3-year goals or. Well,
Right. And there is there is already a plan which Jay and I, and it's a small team of us, did for the entire county, and that was signed in 2019, and that is available on the website. If you don't have it, hopefully maybe Giselle or somebody can put it in you should have, it's on the Siskiyou Fire Safe Council website.
Webpage. Yeah, it is. I
Go
just
to
saw
their
it today.
Yeah.
One more quick question, if I get it when you're ready.
Can you just tell me what I look up? Oh, sorry.
The Shasta Vista subdivision, I think, uses the Weed zip code. Are you covering that too?
We're just in the beginning, George. We're meeting with the folks at Lake Shastina. We're going to take a look at where their original WUI boundary is. And, we talked about pushing it all the way to A12, but it's way premature until we talk to community members.
And we really are trying to keep it that's outside the zip code, George. We're trying to keep it in. And so Shasta Vista definitely takes it further out. And we've been talking with CAL FIRE, our cooperators, and they definitely agreed that if you start that, you're gonna have to start expanding here, here, and here. So we're trying to keep it reasonable for that. Greater Weed is, we're trying to keep it within that zip code.
So
Makes sense. Thank you. I was just curious.
Yeah, just to make it clear that Weed, this is a new CWPP for Weed. They haven't had one before. And then once they get into that one, they will start in on the county CWPP, which is a renewal one. We've had one for the last 20 years, but you have to renew them every 5 years. And so Julie and Jay wrote our last one, and they will be working on that one. So that one will take in the whole county. So people are not being left out.
And our hope is, if we play our cards right, I think the kind of data we'll have available will make it so much simpler to do analyses for all the different fire safe councils.
Yeah, that's the hope. You bet.
And Marushka, so you know that too, that most of the grants require that you have a CWPP in place and that you're following that plan before they will give you money, to put it bluntly. So that's an integral part of it too.
I'm meeting
Right,
with
and probably one of the biggest, I gotta say, it is a big reason that the county got the CWDG grant. There are not very many county-wide CWPPs, but Siskiyou County has one, and that's awesome.
Yes, in writing the grant, we referenced several pages in there, and they ask you in a lot of those questions, is this in a CWPP? And please reference where it's at. So when you're writing grants, they often ask those things. And so it's a good thing to look at. I did put the link in chat. So go have a look and you might be able to use some information in there.
Look at that table of contents because it's kind of overwhelming. It's large and a lot of it's maps. And the analysis is section 5. The action plan is section 2. Those are sort of meat and potatoes of it, but there's a lot of information and a lot of maps. Good stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Julie and Jay. Instead of me going down the list of our huge list of smaller, local fire safe councils, is there anybody here that would like to do an update on theirs? Just for
I could.
Okay.
I think it's worth sharing, Kristen, or unless she shared last month. Has she shared anything about what Hammond Ranch is up to? Because she's
go right ahead.
Okay, I'll try to make it brief. We're getting closer and closer. We're working with Scott Irvine, the chief at Weed, Cal Fire, and Kyle Lunsford, who's the chief at Hammond Ranch Fire, who both live in Hammond Ranch, and we finally got our hands on the map and the perimeters that Kyle Lunsford is kind of comfortable with making our Firewise region for Hammond Ranch. It's gonna actually incorporate all of Hammond Ranch and actually a tiny bit of the outskirts of Hammond Ranch, or technically, I guess maybe not Hammond Ranch. And I hear Weed is also working on a Firewise community as well right now. And there's a really active group near Columbine that's working right now. And so we are just moving right along. And yeah, I think that's what I've got.
Okay, thank you. And is there
Yeah.
anybody else? It's not on our agenda, but we should probably start including that, our Firewise communities. Anybody else from Firewise that is doing one that would like to give an update?
Yeah, let's do that. And Ruby, if you can remind me, let's put that Firewise updates.
Yeah,
in
sounds
the
good.
agenda. Okay, that sounds good. And as far as the fire safe councils, nothing new from last month, so I think we're okay.
Okay. Okay, great. And I think that gets us to a close unless we have anything from an open forum.
Siskiyou
I have
Media
to-
Council.
Oh, Mike, you've been
Hey, guys.
keep coming on, so go
I
ahead.
have got to be a part of this. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys. So there's a lot to talk about, but I'm going to keep it really short. This will be our 12th Klamath Prescribed Fire Training Exchange. This is a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible partnerships with the tribe, locally, nationally, internationally. It's based in Happy Camp, October 5th through the 18th. The first week, we're going to have at least 110 plus participants. We have been working to really select incredible properties to continue work. It's too much to describe some of the strategies and the locations verbally, but this is a major event to pull it off. And it's great that everyone on this call believes in the need for fuels reduction, citizen participation, community participation, implementation. People like Kevin Mancebo are just so inspirational, but this is happening in Happy Camp. There will be more updates, but that is by far the biggest, most important thing that I can share is this important effort, and how much good work we should get done. Having said that, I have a rain gauge. We've received just over 1 inch of rain up Elk Creek, which really helped put the wildfire season to bed for sure. Semi-season ending event, but it's funny because it's actually affecting our fuels for prescribed fire. Like we're almost hoping for like a week or two of dry weather to bring some fuels back into prescription because if this wet trend continues, we have a few hundred acres of burn piles that we can go after, but it would take out our understory burning completely. But the Klamath River Trex is a really cool, amazing thing, and that's my big statement to make sure everybody appreciates that. And I'll try to be in touch and communicate out with what we're doing. September 24th, we're having a pre-Trex Klamath meeting in Happy Camp. There's a lot more to talk about, but we're really lucky. All of this work gets done on private lands, and almost all this work has been preceded by manual fuels reduction treatments, pile burning, et cetera. And it's incredible how trained up the crews are locally and all the participants. So the Klamath River Trex is my message tonight. So thank you so much.
Great, Mike. Yeah, it's pretty amazing work that's being done by Trex down there. And I remember when it first started and the first one it's grown a lot. It's great.
Siskiyou Media Council has her hand up.
Yes, I saw. Thanks.
Everybody. So
I
can
haven't forgotten you, Dave. I was just getting to you.
Oh, no, that's fine. I'm usually the last one in the room. So anyway, just had an opportunity for this last 10 to 12 days to work with the California Interagency Incident Management Team 1 on the Dillon and Blue Fire. We're helping them put out information through Siskiyou or the channels and the bulletin board. One of the things that came out during their 3rd of September in-person community meeting was there was individuals asking if the fire services around there, if they had any teams that were available to help clear out around their properties. From some people, I guess, were having problems like that. They were worried. I don't know if they were in the Orleans side or they were in the, in the next county over or whatever. But the interagency team 1, would be able to send your information out or to those individuals if they're still available to, get to them. Any type of clearing that may happen with the grants that have with the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County. And the other thing that I was had an opportunity to do was also talk with the NorCal 211 system. They have a page that and I can send you the link, but they have a page that if you have something that would be related to the current situation or something that's ongoing, that they could put on there that you wanted to aggregate, to let them know that you're doing this in the county, that they can put that in there as well. There's a page that you can put your services in. So if you would like that information, the 211 service can actually put that on their website.
Well, that'd be great.
So I've just got to find the link to the page and send it in. I'll probably send it to you, and then you can put it out to the group.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dave. That's good information.
Hey, Dave, do you know if Amy Forrest is still in charge of our local 211?
Yes, she is.
Awesome.
Yep.
And I'll be in touch about the Syad area.
Okay, great.
All right. Anything else on the open forum? Did I skip anybody, miss anybody? All right. Well, our next meeting is October 8th, and I have to say, I'm sorry I won't be here. I know you're all going to feel really bad for me, but I'll be in Norway when you guys are meeting next. So sorry.
I feel bad for us.
I know. All right. Thank you, everybody, for attending tonight. We do appreciate it. Have a good week.
Yep.
Thanks.
Good night, everybody.
Bye all.
Thank you, Jamie.
all.